Now, the fourth aspect of the last part of the Apostles' Creed is the resurrection of the dead. Now, what is the resurrection of the dead? We are not talking about zombies, we are not talking about mythology, we are not talking about folklore. Resurrection of the dead, unfortunately, today has gone into folklore, into Christian thought, or even mythology. To say that Christian life should be devoid of understanding of resurrection of the dead, because it is something that is unrealistic. We have not seen anybody come back to life, so why should we believe in the resurrection of the dead? It's enough if we just focus on, there are people who say that it's enough if we just focus on teachings of Christ. Oh, they are very good. Let us focus on the way of life of Christ. Oh no, that's a very good way of living. But the resurrection of the dead, sometimes rational Christians tend to undermine the role of the faith and belief in the resurrection of the dead. The resurrection of the dead is one of the most fundamental aspects of the early church. The early church was built around, or it was a community that gathered around the resurrection experience. If it wasn't for the resurrection experience, the early church would not have been formed. So it's very easy for us today as a church to say, "Oh, I'm a very good Christian. I belong to a very good church. So therefore, let me just overlook this whole aspect of the resurrection of the dead. I'll do my praise and worship. I'll be a good worship leader. I will be a good member in the church, and let me not focus on the resurrection of the dead." Friends, the resurrection of the dead, the hope in the hope of the resurrection of the dead, the hope of resurrection defines our faith today. My life, my existential life today is conditioned by the hope of resurrection. Let us remember that.